Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Life with Brian. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day out there. I'm in my 2006 Ford GT, and I just picked it up from the garage. Haven't driven it in probably 3-4 months at least. And I know this because I actually had the renewal, the registration sticker just kind of sitting in my office, and it's like from June and it's October now, so it's been a bit. And over the past few days I've kind of been going back and forth on, you know, I knew I needed to put the registration on the car, obviously, but I was kind of going back and forth on whether or not to get the car or get another car. And I usually waffle more on picking up this car than really any other of my other supercars, and really any other car, to be completely honest with you. Usually it's kind of, the ones I'm kind of more hesitant to pick up are the Ferrari, the Gallardo, and usually this car. The McLaren also, to a certain extent, only because I've just had such bad luck with that car recently. I just feel like whenever I get the car, some warning light's going to come on, or it's going to dump oil or something on the road. Which, that's another car I'm kind of waffling on, because I do need to drive to make sure everything's kind of sorted out after I was in the shop for the better part of the last 2 months. But I finally decided, you know, just go ahead and bite the bullet, right, and take out the Ford GT. And again, I know that sounds pretty preposterous, you know, like biting the bullet, like it's a chore to have to drive this car, but it kind of is, and that's really kind of the point of this video. Let me say, it's once you're driving the car, it's fantastic. And obviously the 6-speed manual is just, you know, wonderful to shift, wonderful to go through the gears. It's really one of the best shifters you can imagine. But it's kind of everything else about this car that, at least for me, takes a lot of psyching myself up and kind of getting ready to drive the car, if that makes sense. I remember Doug DeMuro, before, you know, he got super rich and got the Carrera GT and all that good stuff. He was saying, like, I think it was like about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, he put a post up on his Instagram where he's like, he's finally not intimidated by the Ford GT anymore, and he kind of drive it regularly. And it took him like over a year or so, maybe even longer, to kind of get to that point. And to me, I've had this car for, almost 3 years now, maybe a little over 3 years. And I still kind of am nervous when I drive the car. And again, not because I'm a psycho driver, or I speed, or I just do crazy things with this car. Because again, there's no anything on this. There's traction control. There's no aids. You know, nothing to really kind of help you if you kind of lose it. But yeah, I'm a pretty safe and boring driver, to be completely honest with you guys. But it's just kind of the fact that, you know, you have almost 600 horsepower, and obviously it's tied to this wonderful 6-speed manual, but these tires kind of don't really have a lot of grip. These tires actually might be kind of old. I probably need to replace them, quite honestly. But it's a lot of power, a lot of power, and it's kind of, see, this car actually just almost ran into me, almost went into my lane. Happens a lot, actually. When I drive this car, it just seems like cars are kind of committed to committing suicide. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of a car that I just don't feel naturally and easily comfortable with, at least kind of beginning the drive, if that makes sense. Like, once I'm in it, once I'm driving it, I kind of don't want to stop, but it's kind of psyching myself up for the doors and the ducking my head and the kind of I mean, parking this is a real, you know what, reversing sucks. Can't really see very well, got a lot of blind spots. So it's a chore. It's kind of like the Gallardo. I don't really drive, very easy to operate, very easy to maneuver. NSX, of course, I don't think anything is really on par with that in terms of ease of driving. But yeah, I just constantly put this car on the back burner because for whatever reason, maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's me, because I remember Doug DeMuro talking about it. It's just I still feel not super comfortable driving this car, and I don't really feel that about really any of my other cars. I mean, like my Viper, my 2004 Viper, I remember I heard, you know, stories of people wrapping themselves around telephone poles and stuff, but I think that's really more to do with just people being stupid. Yeah, I remember on Throttle House, the guys were driving the car, Ford GT, in the rain, I believe, and the tires, I think, were pretty shot as well. And I forgot who it was, but I think maybe Thomas kind of lost control and spun out. So again, I'm hoping that never ever happens to me in this car. But yeah, I just, you know, I really had to psych myself up for the better part of 3 days, guys, to finally pull the trigger in and come pick this car up. And it's weird because I'm like, once I'm driving it, I love it. I love the shifter. I love the way this car feels. I love the attention it gets. It's a very unique, it's a beautiful car. A really, really beautiful car. One of the most beautiful cars I think ever designed. And, you know, you just get a lot of positive attention. A lot of people want to talk to you about the car, give you a thumbs up. But yeah, I don't drive this car much, and it's not really anything other than the fact that I just feel, for some inexplicable reason, just not super comfortable, easy driving the car. You know, I'm a little bit always kind of tense, and I think really maybe the value of the car, like if I get a dent or someone runs into me like that car almost did, cutting into my lane, that kind of makes me nervous as well. You know, it's kind of the cost of a house if you think about it. Yeah, it's just first world problems, I know, guys, but I just wish I could get over that faster, or get over it entirely, so I would enjoy this car more. But maybe just, you know, it'll take more time, guys. Like I said, I think Doug DeMuro, it took him a couple years to get there. I've had this, yeah, about 3 years, so I think I probably should already be there by now, but maybe it's because I don't drive it a lot. I probably drive it once every maybe 3 months, if that. I definitely should drive it more, but yeah. So I am, where the hell am I going? Completely forgot where I was going. I'm heading to go run an errand, but I want to shoot a quick video, guys, because I haven't had much content on this car in a while, in case anyone was wondering if I got rid of the car. And whenever I post videos about this, I usually get a couple of comments about people who really appreciate seeing content on the car. I mean, it's a fantastic car. If I didn't own one, I would love to see videos on Ford GTs all day long. Just such beautiful cars. You know, driving dynamics and horsepower and the shifter and all that stuff aside, it's just, again, one of the most beautiful cars ever made. Of course, an homage to one of the coolest looking cars of all time, the GT40, of course. So that's just my thoughts, guys. I want to shoot a quick video on the Ford GT. Hope you guys like it. Give it a thumbs up, comment below, like, subscribe. Please support the channel. Hope to catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.